Hi everyone! Today we logged into Roblox and chose the mode Escape Mr. Funny's Toy Shop, Scary Obby. As always, my sister Bingo is with me. Hi Bingo!
Hi Bluey! Hi everyone! We are so glad you're with us! Bluey, tell us a little about this mode.
Sure, Bingo! In this mode, we find ourselves in the creepy toy shop of Mr. Funny. Our task is to escape by overcoming various obstacles and avoiding scary toys. It's similar to Five Nights at Freddy's, but here there's more parkour and puzzles.
Yes, and look at this shop. It's filled with all kinds of creepy toys. The story goes that Mr. Funny was a kind toy maker until one day, one of his toys came to life and turned his shop into a real nightmare. Wow, what a story. And now we need to make our way through all these dangers and find an exit. Let's start with the first level.
Bingo! Look! We've just entered a strange passage. There's poisonous gas here. We need to be very careful.
Wow, Bluey, this is really dangerous. How do you think we should get through this place?
We need to find a way to turn off the gas or run through quickly before it harms us. Let's look for a ventilation system or a button to shut off the gas.
Wow, Bluey, this is really dangerous. How do you think we should get through this place?
Exactly, Bingo. Let's try it. I'll press the button and you keep an eye on the surroundings.
Be careful, Bluey. I hope this works.
Hooray, it worked! The gas is off. Now we can safely move forward.
Great job, Bluey. Let's keep going. Look, there's another obstacle ahead. It's a huge maze with lasers.
It looks like we need to make our way through without touching the lasers. Let's go slowly and carefully.
Okay, Bluey, we're following you. Look, there's another button in the corner. Maybe it will turn off the lasers.
Yes, Bingo. I'll press it and you be ready to move quickly through the maze.
All clear, Bluey. Now we can pass safely. Great job.
We did great, Bingo. Now we just need to find the exit from this toy shop. I hope it won't get any harder from here.
But no matter what, we can handle it together. Let's continue our adventure.
Yes, and remember everyone, always check each obstacle and don't rush. Attention to detail is our main weapon. See you next time. Bingo, do you remember what happened last week in Mr. Funny's toy shop?
Of course, Bluey. That was quite an adventure. We thought it was just an ordinary toy shop, but it turned out to be completely different.
Exactly. We immediately noticed that the atmosphere was strange. The shelves were filled with toys that seemed too lifelike. And suddenly, the doors closed behind us.
Yes, and then we heard that creepy laugh. Mr. Funny himself greeted us and said we had to pass his challenges to escape the shop.
Do you remember the first challenge? We found ourselves in a huge maze filled with moving walls and traps. We had to be very careful not to get caught.
And how we searched for the key to open the next passage. The key was hidden in the center of the maze, and every step was a real test.
I still remember how you found the key at the last minute when the walls started closing in. It was incredible.
And then we ended up in a room with giant toys. They came to life and started attacking us. We had to use all our agility to avoid them and find the exit.
And that's not all. We encountered a massive conveyor with moving platforms and lasers. We had to jump from one to another to avoid the beams.
Yes, and then we reached the scariest part, the room with poisonous gas. We had to turn on a fan to disperse the gas and open the passage further.
It was a real horror. But together we managed to overcome all the challenges. Finally, when we reached the last room, the police greeted us.
It turned out that someone had already reported the strange occurrences in the shop, and they came to rescue us. Mr. Funny was arrested, and we managed to get out safe and sound.
It was an incredible experience, Bingo. I never thought a toy shop could be so dangerous and full of adventure.
But the most important thing is that we made it through, and now we can tell this story to others. And who knows, maybe even more exciting adventures await us in the future.
Bingo, do you remember what happened 2 weeks ago at the toy shop?
Oh, how could I forget, Bluey? That was a real adventure. We just went to get a new toy and ended up in the middle of a real robbery.
Yes. When we entered, everything seemed normal. But then we noticed that the cashier was missing, and the shelves looked suspiciously empty.
And suddenly we heard noises coming from the back room. You suggested we check out what was happening. That was so brave of you.
Well, I just felt that something was wrong. When we opened the door, there was a real mess. Shelves were overturned, toys scattered everywhere, and someone was clearly searching for something.
And then we saw them, robbers in masks. They were trying to break into the shop's safe. I almost screamed, but you quickly covered my mouth and said we needed to come up with a plan.
Yes, we hid behind large boxes of toys and started observing. The robbers clearly didn't expect anyone else to be in the shop.
They were busy with the safe, and we took the opportunity to quietly sneak to the exit. We needed to call for help.
But there was no one outside, and we decided to act on our own. Do you remember how you found that old phone in one of the toy boxes?
Exactly. It was almost dead, but we were lucky enough to get through to the police. We told them what was happening and went back inside to keep watching.
Yes, the police said they would be there in 10 minutes. We decided to try to delay the robbers until they arrived. Otherwise, they might escape.
And that's when we came up with a plan. We noticed that the shop had a section with toy weapons and fake security guards. We gathered everything we could find and started setting them up around the shop.
That was brilliant. When the robbers came out of the back room, they saw all these guards and thought they were surrounded by real police. They got confused and started to panic.
One of them even dropped the bag of toys and tried to run, but tripped over a stand of teddy bears. The other tried to hide, but you set off the alarm, and that scared him completely.
At that moment, the police arrived. They quickly entered the shop and arrested the robbers. We even got commendation certificates for our bravery and resourcefulness.
Yes, and the shop owner gave us each a toy as a memento of that day. That was so nice.
But the most important thing is that we were able to help and prevent the robbery. It was an incredible experience, and now we have a great story to tell.
Right, Bluey. And I hope we don't have to go through that again. It was exciting, but it's better when everything is calm and safe.
I agree, Bingo. But if something happens again, we'll be ready to help. Weeks ago, something absolutely incredible happened. My sister Bingo and I were at our favorite toy store when suddenly all this chaos began. It started with the lights in the store flickering a few times before suddenly going out. We heard a quiet but ominous hum coming from outside. When the lights came back on, we noticed something strange. Several toys that looked like little aliens started moving on their own. Bingo and I couldn't believe our eyes. We started examining the toys and suddenly noticed that one of them had tiny antennas. We took this toy and hurried home to show it to our parents, but they didn't believe us. We decided to conduct our own investigation.
The next day, we went back to the store to talk to Mr. Jones. We told him what we saw, and to our surprise, he said he had noticed strange things recently too. Mr. Jones said that every time the lights went out, the toys moved on their own. We decided that we had to find out what was going on. We hid in the store after closing and waited. When the lights flickered again, we saw several toys start moving toward the back door. We followed them outside, where we were in for a real shock. A huge alien ship had landed behind the store. Strange creatures, looking like the toys we saw in the store, emerged from the ship. They started gathering toys and taking them onto their ship.
Bingo and I realized that the aliens wanted to take over all the toy stores because they didn't like children playing with toys that looked like them. We knew we had to do something to stop them. We quietly snuck closer to the ship and overheard their conversation. They were talking about sending a signal to other ships to land in other parts of the city and start the takeover.
We knew we had to find a way to stop them. We snuck onto the ship and began looking for a way to disable their equipment. Suddenly, we heard footsteps. The aliens were returning with a new batch of toys. We hid behind some boxes and noticed a control panel. Bingo said she had seen such panels in movies and might be able to hack it.
We cautiously approached the panel. Bingo started pressing buttons trying to disable the system. Suddenly, a loud alarm sounded, and the aliens noticed us. We ran for the exit, but the path was blocked. The aliens surrounded us. At that moment, Bingo came up with a brilliant idea. She started speaking to the aliens in their language, which we had heard earlier. The aliens stopped and seemed surprised.
They started asking us who we were and what we were doing there. We explained to them that we were kids and that toys were very important to us. We told them that children love playing with toys that look like aliens because we think they're cool and interesting. The aliens looked puzzled. They didn't understand why children wanted to play with toys that looked like them. Mr. Jones was thrilled and thanked us for our bravery and resourcefulness. We told our parents and friends about our adventure, and no one could believe what had happened. The aliens returned to their ship and left Earth, promising not to try to take our toys again.
That day will forever remain in our memory as an incredible adventure when Bingo and I saved the city from an alien invasion. Now we know that courage and friendship can overcome any obstacles, even those involving extraterrestrial beings. We hope you enjoyed our adventure. This robot is gigantic, and its intentions are far from friendly. It wants to turn me into a game, but I'm not giving up. Its metal arms are trying to grab me, but I dodge and run through the warehouse. I need to find a way to stop it.
Thank you for being with me in this difficult moment. I hope you enjoyed our adventure. Until we meet again, friends.